talking about one package that has issues with Python. And that package is dbus-python, which doesn't build correctly with Python 3.15. And I reported that to the developers, and they told me, if you want to have it solved, it would be best if you just solved it.
Okay,
so there is an issue there. They tried to do something, but the change they made is apparently incomplete. I was sent the issue I sent them. It doesn't have too many information. There is the pasted code from this thing, but there's also a link to the change they made. So the flag has been added recently. So I couldn't really get much out of it. Maybe we can take a look at it together and figure it out.
Okay, so this is a feature that was added without too much documentation, and I'm not too sure how it should be used, I'll be honest. But yeah, we can take a look at this as a representative of the CPython project. I have to stand by the decisions of the other core devs, right? Right, so in the new Python versions, the Python objects can have their dicts and their weakref lists managed by the interpreter. So what does that mean? Traditionally, you'd set traditionally, if you wanted an object to have attributes settable by the user, you would set TP dict offset on the type, and that sets the offset in the type object struct. Where in the type object struct you have a pointer to that underdict, right? So let's see if we can. Where was this added? This was added in 3.12. So let's see if we can do something with 3.11 where this wasn't there. Maybe let's use 3.10. So I don't know. If you have a list, you can't give it any attributes. That's because it doesn't have an interdict. If you have, I don't know, a function that has a dict, and that means you can put attributes on it, right?
Wow, okay. Putting an attribute to a function is something I've never seen.
Your microphone is really soft.
Is it better now?
A bit.
A bit. I'm.
Okay, it's on my side. Sorry. Could you keep talking so I can adjust
Okay.
that?
I keep talking. I'm just very surprised that you can actually assign attributes to functions. I think I have never seen anything like that.
Is it on my side? Can you still keep talking?
Okay, I keep talking. I keep talking.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's good.
Ah, okay.
Do you have some kind of suppression?
So my mic was. Uh,
So you're really soft, and then you switch to being very loud.
I'm not sure how Jitsi works with it. I can try. So now I switched the microphone to a different input.
You're
Is it
still
better?
very soft.
Still soft.
What is going on here?
Okay, so there is also another one. I don't have noise cancelling here. Like I have the option to do that, but it's not checked.
Ah, okay, it was on my side, sorry.
Okay, great.
It was the physical connection to my headphones.
All right.
Sorry for that. Alright, so yeah, well, there are lots of objects where you can set attributes. Functions are one of them. That might be surprising, but it's not really what we're here for. If I subclass a list in Python, then it gets a dict.
Mm-hmm.
So I can put attributes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is done automatically. And I don't know if we have like a dict offset. Yeah. Yeah, so this will have a dict offset of 40. Why 40? If I look at the size of a list object, I get 56 for some reason. But list dot basic size is 40. Okay. So lists work by having 40 bytes for the PyObject structure. And after that there's some space apparently reserved, just a little bit. If you subclass the object, then my list will have a bigger basic size, and it's now 56, and that includes the pointer to the dict. Right, so if you subclass it in Python, it adds this automatically.
Okay, so if I may just reiterate, dict offset is a way to enable subclass objects to have different attributes, basically to extend the class, the type as much as you want, without knowing beforehand whatever goes there.
So TP dict offset is a way to define a class in C that gives the objects a dict. And the way it's done is inside the struct for your objects, there's a pointer to the dict, and the dict offset gives you the position in the struct where that pointer is. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe let's look at dbus. So dbus does this for the weak list. So instead of a dict, this is for the list of weak references pointing to that object. I don't know if you've ever used weak references.
I haven't yet.
Okay, so it's some other thing that classes defined in Python will have, and so it's like dict. And they use offset of server. Here will be the struct. Let's view the file. Do we have a struct server? Yeah, here. So this is a Python object structure. It has the head, it has some information, and it has this weak list pointer.
Mm-hmm.
And the offset in bytes from the beginning of the structure to this weak list pointer is the weak list offset.
Yeah.
Right? And that gives it additional functionality that they need. Right? It turns out it's faster if the interpreter itself manages the dict pointer and the weak list pointer. So the way it's the new way it's done, if you subclass subclass something, let's see, let's do this whole thing again. So if I have a list, then it doesn't have a dict like before. If I have a function and I look at its dict of I guess we don't need to do the function anymore. If I have this my list, then it will have a dict offset of -1, which means there is no dict offset anymore. There's no dict pointer in the C structure underlying this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the way it's done, if you define a class in Python now, it adds the PyTP flags manage dict flag. Right? And what happens then is if the class has this flag, then in memory, this pointer will be before the PyObject structure. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of memory allocated, and I guess I need a diagram now, which I haven't done in a while, and I hope it works. Have I updated this thing? So I click document history and no, I don't have my nice picture anymore. Alright, so how does this work now? So what? Now I want this. So there's a bit of memory allocated. There's a pointer to the PyObject, which has some kind of head and data specific to the type. And before that, there's the dict and the weak list and so on. Right? So this is hard to pull off. You can't use free, like the cfree function, to free this anymore. You have to calculate the offset here, depending on the flags of the type that tell you if there's the pointer here or not. This is called the preheader. And the preheader was not supposed to show up in the public API, but somebody didn't think things through. So that's the way things work now. The good news is that this is faster. Like, operations on this are faster because I guess the offset is always known and you don't have to verify it and stuff. The bad news is if you did have a structure like this with the pointer already there, ready to be used, with other code using that pointer, you of course can't move it, right? So there's a public flag you have to set to enable this functionality, and then you can remove this and have it managed by the interpreter and call some CAPI to get it instead of just reaching it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this
Right.
is a concept. Yeah.
Okay. Now the problem is, for reasons I don't fully understand, you need to use the PyTP flags have GC flag with these managed ones. I suspect the reason is that this wasn't adequately tested, and just something breaks and nobody wants to support that case. Maybe there's some like bigger underlying reason, but this is it. So if you don't use PyTP flags have GC with this, things break. Things break in ways that are not really visible if you don't do something special, but generally there's some edge cases where things don't work. So the system error was added. The documentation was updated that you need to have PyTP flags have GC. That update came like 5 versions after the flag was added, which is like pretty horrible, but that's the way the faster CPython team works. Long story short, you need to add the PyTP flags have GC flag, which has some stuff around it. So if you use this flag, the objects must be allocated using PyObject GC new instead of PyObject new. You should be using generic alloc anyway, and they need to support cyclic garbage collection. So if you just add PyTP flags GC, you'll get an error that you didn't implement TP traverse, and also TP clear and all the ones. You already know about those right? So let's see. Yeah, those are not here. That's free. Yeah, there needs to be traverse and stuff like that. So 2 options. Either you removed manage weak refs. I don't know why they were added. This was an attempt to fix 55, but still seems worth having. Okay. What is this? Import repeatedly test. Oh, okay. So this initializes the Python runtime, imports dbus, and finalizes, and runs that 100 times, and tells you that there is there's a weird error because it keeps objects from the previous runtime or interpreter around. Yeah, so if you want to initialize and finalize Python several times, that is well, we're trying to make it easier, but it's not actually easier. Basically, to allow this, you need to use the API the correct way, and we're still figuring out what the correct way is. So, for the last decade or so. Well, there's a warning about this in the docs actually. Somewhere. Oh, finalize bugs and caveats.
Yeah, some memory.
Some extensions may not work properly if their initialization routine is called more than once. This can happen if an application calls PyInitialize and I finalize X more than once. Yeah, so this is an understatement. It is currently pretty hard to make this work unless you follow like the isolation how to which older modules don't, of course. So I don't know if we want to fix this issue for them.
That one is closed.
Anyone who wants to embed debug Python in a larger process and be able to initialize in Python as the Python interpreter more than once is invited to investigate this. You have an account here?
Sorry?
Do you have an account here?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I don't know if you want to add a comment that I know how to do this. I can walk someone through it, or I can walk you through it. Anyway, for if we don't want to do this, then simply revert this change, and everything will be fine. It'll be a bit slower than before. I don't think the old functionality will ever get will get deprecated anytime soon. But even if we want to add this back, I think the best way to do it is to revert now and do it the right way. You know, do the whole isolation dance on Python dbus. What is the reason for dbus Python being not maintained?
There is a new implementation coming, as far as I know. They have it somewhere in the docs.
Okay, then revert.
Mm-hmm.
It won't change the functionality. It'll be marginally slower. The behavior with subclasses is better in the new style because several subclasses can both add the dict and weakref and not clash, which is not possible if it's inside the struct, but that doesn't really matter for Python dbus, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't do multiple inheritance there. Yeah, and the problem was that, you know, the PyTP flags manage weakref was added sort of quietly, and then the docs were changed to make it preferred, so people started using it and finding bugs in it, and then the docs were changed that you now need GC, which is a pain to add to these objects. I don't know if this actually needs GC. Let's see. Oh, it has Python objects in it, and I don't know if connection subtype for this, for which the server is a factory. So theoretically, probably you can have a reference cycle from this connection subtype to its server, which means the garbage collector won't be able to collect it. But it's a factory. I don't think anybody cares about the reference leak there. Especially if there's a new implementation coming. Yeah, so recommend reverting that commit if we want to put it back, we need to add the garbage collection protocol to this class, and given the status of the project, that's probably not
Mhm.
worth it. Do you know where the new project is?
I'm trying to figure it out. Looking at the docs of dbus Python dbus. Where was it? Hmm. Hmm. Where is the page with the different dbus bindings where one it's basically at the end of the page, completely at the end, there's information that dbus Python blah blah blah. New applications should use different ones, say above. So there are 3 or 4
So
out of
PyDBus.
or TX dbus.
Ooh, is this active? Or active? Is this mature? It's
Mm-hmm.
06, last updated almost a decade ago. Ooh, okay. SDBus.
Yeah, found some.
This looks. It's still 0.4, but uh, Fedora. And how does this work? Does this use API, yes. Dbus internals, okay. Does this use TP traverse? Nope. Does this use my module stuff? PyInit as dbus internals. Okay. PyModule create. So this is single phase initialization. The old stuff. This won't work if it's reloaded, probably. But I guess they don't use TP flags managed. No. Okay, so if this is the preferred replacement, then we can update it to use multi-phase in it.
Okay, that would be a probably question for people who maintain dbus Python and have like more context about the usage.
I need to add some documentation to Python that says don't use the new API if you don't have a reason to use it. If it's not deprecated, don't get rid of it.
I can see how people may have the feeling that things move in Python quite fast and it's better to just keep the pace with the upstream.
Yeah. Then you get to find all the new bugs.
So Python SDBus really isn't packaged to Fedora, as the CI says.
Or you can use PyGI, which I guess will be packaged in Fedora. You can use PyQt.
So I only learned about this issue for packages that require dbus Python, as the Qt packages. Yeah, I think that most notably there are Qt packages that use dbus Python under the hood. I have no idea whether replacements are one-to-one and you can just switch one for another, or is there more in it?
I guess for compatibility reasons, its API involves a lot of type guessing. So it's probably not easy to switch to anything else.
Maybe the question is to be asked at CIP and Qt.
CIP and Qt. How are those? Oh, CIP uses dbus Python?
Yeah, the traceback, the original traceback for this, it comes from Qt build or CIP build, one of those.
CIP uses dbus. Oh.
Where are we? CIP build. Yes, CIP build. But it went through PyQt5, and PyQt5 wanted to import dbus main loop.
In tests?
So this is the build of dbus Python itself, so we can see that it's own tests will fail, but I have also a failed build of PyQt where Qt5 or Qt5 also no. Qt5 and 6 are different, are named completely differently. So yeah, with Qt5, Qt6, I'm heading there through zip build. Qt6 is yes also doing that. So zip build somehow updates tool, whatever that means, and that tool adds dbus. How can you function with a font?
Project.py. Oh, PyKit doesn't have a repository, right?
Wow.
And Qt6 does the same thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
okay. Well, this looks like it's too deep of a rabbit hole, and Python dbus works fine if you have it already working. So if it just reverts, everything will be fine.
I'm going to try that.
Alright. Anything else?
No, that was my question for today.
Okay, my question was, do you use libabigail or ABI-diff?
We use ABI-diff later and during the integration efforts when we are in beta and RC phases to make sure.
So yeah, I don't know if you saw my comment here. Do you
So
use ABI-diff directly or do you use make check ABI dump?
we use ABI-diff directly.
Great. Okay.
I didn't know there is actually make check ABI dump directive.
Don't use the make. It's for the release managers rather than integration. From whenever this gets merged. I guess I'll merge it on Friday or something. Well, that's tomorrow,
Okay, can you give me like more context about what's behind it, below it?
Okay, do
Would
you
you just
know what ABI diff is? Do you
one more
remember?
time, please?
Do you remember what ABI diff is?
So it's a tool that compares the ABI, com- not compatibility, but differences, like whether two build pieces of software, in our case Python, contain the same
Right.
ABI, and there's a diff, it will print out.
Yeah, and usually when you run it, you have differences in the Python runtime state,
Mhm.
and this adds an ignore file that filters out this runtime state,
Mhm.
which is great for people who change it in their pull requests and don't want to be bothered. The problem with this is I don't fully trust it, to be honest. So I would be happier if in Fedora you check it, or you just bother me with it and I'll check it for you in the alphas and betas,
Mhm.
just to make sure it doesn't filter out more than we're all comfortable with.
Mhm.
Doesn't make sense on every pull request, but on alphas and betas, I would like somebody to run it.
Mhm. Yeah, then acknowledge. We'll skip to our uh, practices.
Thanks.
And since we're already looking at the Python issue tracker, it reminded me of the issue I spent yesterday and today on.
Hmm.
Short memory.
You know the number.
Um, oh no, no, I don't have the number. Maybe Miro has opened it, or maybe not yet. So we were hit by expat. Um,
Expat.
is it- yes. When Python builds its expat library, it uses those build time checks to include or not include symbols of the available system expat library, but there are no runtime checks. So we were again hit by this thing that our Python was built with a newer expat than some people had on their systems, and then they just couldn't use many features of Python.
Oh. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure we can solve that really.
So. So that was one question, like whether there is a possibility to somehow not only like have like build time checks, but also runtime checks for expat.
Not if the symbol's compiled in.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way to do that, but it's really complicated. You need to load the symbol at runtime rather than have the linker loaded. And that's really not worth the trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So the way to solve this is to add some kind of version constraint to the package metadata.
Yeah, we did that. Uh,
And I don't know if you can generate that dynamically.
we are checking right now what was the version expat was Python was built with, and we enter that version as the lowest possible. So we require expat that's greater or equal uh, the version we detected. So that should work. The only thing is that things don't always move the same pace, and we have like a we are afraid that sometimes it may happen that you have updates, not synchronized updates, and something is in the build root but not yet available in the repositories, and you build something with a version of a library that's not yet
Right.
available, and that creates all of the mishmash that we are not able to detect. But
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you would rather add a version that added the last symbol that Python uses. Uh, I'm afraid I can't think of a good solution for that.
and was there a discussion about not building PyExpert, like not creating a?
Not building Python. So, I mean, this should be a runtime error. Like if you import uh, whatever module uses this XML, uh, if you import XML, things will break. Right? So you should still be able to use Python itself if you have an incompatible version of XPath.
The most prominent moment it happens is when you try to create a new virtual environment.
Oh, virtual env uses XPath.
-m when will crash on you, and it will give you no meaningful information until you start digging, and you get somewhere into ensure pip, upgrade pip, something like that.
Okay, would it work better for Fedora to just crash Python at startup instead?
Um, hmm. Could we do that with a meaningful information? Like, can we detect that this is because of experts incompatibility?
So what's the error? It's like symbol XML something not found or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
you could get that same error on Python startup instead if you want. That's easy to do. You build the extension statically and have it compiled in.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you're setting the minimum version in the package requirements, then you won't get this error. And the new version will not be installable at all, which is probably the best solution for this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, and by the way, that's not something we have discussed very deeply, but I have done some re-enablement of tests we skipped in Fedora, like Python upstream tests that were somehow deadlocking or timeouting or timing out or doing weird things. And
Mm-hmm.
quite a lot of tests actually pass on all architectures and multiple times. So I'm going to go through the open issues we had open for those and say that they are no longer seen, approved, and may be closed.
Nice.
There is
Sounds
like
great.
no other resolution than it just magically started to work, probably because something else changed that also changed the condition of those tests, or maybe something downstream. But there's quite a few of those that we can re-enable.
Nice. Okay, and there's something probably for next time since we don't have a lot of time. There's a new tutorial in the Python 3.15 documentation.
Oh, it sounds exciting to me.
Yes, this is what I wanted to have when we started this way back when. So now it's there. And we should go through it on Fedora because there's one issue that Fedora packaging could probably solve, and I'm not really sure where the issue is. So yeah, when we don't have anything more pressing, let's go through this on this stream. Or maybe
Cool.
if you have some time, you can go through it.
Okay, I can do it as a pre-homework.
If you want. If not, we can go through it on the stream
Cool.
as well.
Can you share the link with me somehow? I can also you can search it. Thanks.
Should copy all these links to the YouTube chat as well, right? Oh, the description. Right. So 5 minutes to go. I guess this is a good time to end. And,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you for
Productive session. See you next week.